Michael Oakley. Now there's an enigma.
He's got this cute, disarming smile, but in his eyes you can tell he is reading the room. He's measuring you up.
Michael is multifaceted, and he's such a deep thinker.
Like he's a music alchemist, a mischievous music alchemist.
He just has like a very positive outlook on making music, which I think is getting rarer and rarer these days.
Michael's a really passionate guy about what he does, and he has a clear vision for what he likes to do and how he likes to hear things come together.
He cracks me up. The guy is hilarious, super down to earth, and unbelievably talented.
I noticed really quick that we had a lot of affinity for the same types of melodies, sounds.
He'll joke with you, he takes the craft seriously, but he doesn't take himself too seriously.
Gentleman, sweetheart, talent, tenacious, a bugger, and I love him for it.
I thought this is like 90s music meets kind of high energy, like Eurobeat, Italia disco music. I couldn't really see a market for it. Turns out he knew something I didn't.
Meeting you tonight, a rare kind of thrill. Dancing in the distance, with no care in the world. The players tried the best lines, the hyenas with the looks could kill. We're synchronized and sacred, and I still think about it. Nothing stood between us, nothing ever will. She said, come with me, let's paint the old town red. You make it so easy to let loose of myself. Found a place in Babylon, in Babylon. This must be how heaven tastes in Babylon. It's Babylon with you. Got a lust for life, no limitations here. I've said so many times how you silence my fears. I'll lay awake and guard you until the kingdom comes. Adrenalized and blessed, I'm giving you my best. Nothing stood between us, nothing ever will. She said, come with me, let's paint the old town red. You make it so easy to let loose of myself. Babylon, in Babylon. childhood's gone and we're moving, and every moment will pass, and the dream you sold to pay for some romantic affair was the lie you told yourself when no one else was there. God knows all of the roads I've traveled, lying lowly beneath the shadows, all the time wishing I was given more. More, you gotta give more, you gotta give more to keep this dream alive. You gotta give more, you gotta give more, so we are left behind. So surreal, this kaleidoscope reality. Wasted years trying to live a fantasy. Sick and tired of this mask I'm wearing, tied and bound to cross I'm bearing, all the time wishing I was given more. You gotta get more, you gotta get more to keep this dream alive. You gotta get more, you gotta get more, so we are left behind. More. You gotta get more, you gotta get more to keep this dream alive. You gotta get more, you gotta get more, so we are left behind. Left behind. Love hasn't been on my side. The sun's forgotten to shine lately in my sky. But I'm remembering who I am, a part of me once lost. I realize the things that mean to me the most. I put the radio on and I'm playing our songs. I think about you as I'm driving home. I wonder how two people so right are apart. 'Cause I remember when we danced all night. You were laughing and we felt alive. I should have taken the moment when it was right. Now I'm wishing I could turn back time. You should be mine, but now you're someone else. A pretender to the throne. Promise you the world, but make you feel alone. He doesn't know who you are. No, not the way I do. I'm the one disguised here right in front of you. I'm still hoping that you will call and tell me you and him are through and he falls. That you wanna ride out off into the sun. We'll go out and dance the whole night. You'll be laughing, feel so alive. I'll never let that moment slip again. 'Cause I'm wishing I could turn back time. You should be mine now. I'm wishing you were here tonight. You are the one that makes me feel so alive.
Brings back the adult contemporary of the 80s to me.
And I had it blasting on my headphones and I was like, oh, yeah, like this is so good.
He's a natural born performer, so right there and then, as an audience member on crutches at the time, I just thought he was great. He made me forget that I was on crutches and I was just bopping along.
What struck me about his lyrics was the emotional maturity behind them.
He's a great keys player, a great vocalist.
I find it very unique, you know. I wouldn't really call it synthwave or, you know, electro pop or any of those things because he has his own sound.
The progression, the way it was put together, there was no denying that it'd been put together very, very well, and there was a theme, you know, from start to end, and it told a story.
He definitely had the vibe that I liked, which was hitting the right spots of, 80s production and 90s production. And
you hear it in the back of your parents' car as they're driving you to school. And that's what Mike Oakley was. And now he's evolving.
distance, I hear your voice again. All the signs are pointing to what I don't understand. Are you now the kiss of life, hiding in the dark? 'Cause every time I've reached alone, feels like I'm missing every mark. I'll take a chance tonight, another roll of the dice. I can't lose with you. High, but you're falling like the rain. Blinded by illusions, but you do it all over again. High, you know it's just a game. I'm looking for forever, just a chance to start again. Say I'm out of action, losing all control. I'm keeping count of every move in a city I call home. You never gave me warning, like an arrow tears the sky. Bring me to my senses, 'cause tomorrow's open wide. I feel more alive than I ever did in time. I can't lose with you. High, but you're falling like the rain. Blinded by illusions, but you do it all over again. High, you know it's just a game. Looking for forever, just a chance to start again. You're falling like the rain. Blinded by illusions, but you do it all over again. High, you know it's just a game. I'm looking for forever, I just wanna start over again. Go again, letting myself get too close to the sun, and when I get so high, makes me feel alive. I forget myself, like bird song brings me happiness. You got me back onto dry land. Oh, your love is pure toward our heart, of course. I forget sometimes. At times my words sound like broken records, spinning worn out words of despair. That's when you reach out through the dark, helps me to remember again that right from the start you gave me your heart. Every time I'd see your face, when I'm next to you, my spirit's in bloom. I'm feeling that I can't quite place, like when stars collide. begin? Trying to decide how you saved me to my friends. Life was passing by, I didn't realize that I needed help. These days I look back with a certain fondness. The journey and drama came my way, 'cause you stood by me in my darkest hours. That's when my outlook changed. Then right from the start, you gave me your heart. Every time I'd see your face, when I'm next to you, my spirit's in bloom. A feeling that I can't quite place, like when stars collide. Like when stars collide. Like when stars collide. Like when stars collide.
Working with Michael is actually very interesting. He works on music a lot differently than any artist I've worked with, in that in doing an album, we really did one song at a time until it was complete.
Like he'll kind of guide you through what he's going for. He'll tell you, like a good director, a movie director, will sort of, I guess, describe the vision, but they'll never line read to you. They'll never tell you how to act a part. They want it to come from within, from you.
He plugs in, and then he's gone.
He is always encouraging you as the producer or the collaborator to come in and just let you do your idea and let you kind of have your moment on it. And that's not very common with a lot of music producers and people that you work with as artists.
He has a very interesting approach to, using unique sounds and just finding the weird sounds on, really weird rack mount synths that, somehow we turn into something like huge and amazing.
He had the whole concept in place, which is really interesting for me to sort of get involved in that as a songwriter.
There's no DAW involved. He's not looking for that crazy nice retro 80s sound yet. The first thing he's doing is laying down notes on a piano, and you appreciate that stuff.
He can pick up frequencies I couldn't hear, frequencies I created but I couldn't hear, mistakes I created and thought I eradicated. So he has a very, very sort of itemized, methodical way of going through everything.
I think he instills confidence in the artists that he works with because he is very trusting, and he's like, yeah, just do what you do, like just do your thing. And you're like, I have a thing? Okay, cool, yeah, sure, I can rock that. I can do me.
same dream. I've got every one of your moves down. Time slipped from your hourglass. So I'm laying all the memories out with dreamers, trailblazed keepers who think they know it all. We were sailing by the lonely streetlights, thought we'd never fall. Oh, in my darkest days I'm falling down. Give me wings to fly this cold heart out. Sometimes I get this feeling, it comes and goes. Wonder what my life would be with you here, but I'll never know. 'Cause it's cold on the outside. I'll spend my whole life waiting for one more chance. My arms are reaching to hold you and join in the dance. Or are we crystal ships just passing by? So I'm hanging to a night scene in the town that we both carved out. Traced our idols from the big screen, but now the picture's losing sound. Oh, your voice fills my head. Can you tell me where you've run? 'Cause the lonely streetlights hold no answers in what this world's become without you. Oh, running every risk to claim myself, taking chances like nobody else. Sometimes I get this feeling, it comes and goes. Wonder what my life would be with you here, but I'll never know. 'Cause it's cold on the outside. I spent my whole life waiting for one more chance. My arms are reaching to hold you and join in the dance. Or are we crystal ships just passing by? I get this feeling, it comes and goes. Wonder what my life would be with you here, but I'll never know. 'Cause it's cold on the outside. I'll spend my whole life waiting for one more chance. My arms are reaching to hold you and join in the dance. Are we crystal ships just passing by? Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, 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 yeah. Are we crystal ships just passing by? remember back in the days we walked these streets with diamonds in our eyes, out with the vampires under a midnight sky. My mind so hypnotized. It was exciting. It was the 90s. Mama didn't understand it. Daddy always said that I was going too far. Said there's never any compromising. And you try to win the battle to be who you are. I dance to the left, dance to the right, hold hands with my demons and creatures of night, on an undercover mission to find somebody else like me. Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Someone who can hear me and drink from the light, to see things from the same side. Is there anybody out there? 5 years later, I'm out with the same old faces and dead end places. Things kept going wrong. I'm getting to thinking my daddy was right all along. So if you take a little walk on the wild side, be careful that you never slip your hands from the wheel. There's never any compromising when you're blinded by reflections from the part of you that's real. I dance to the left, I dance to the right, hold hands with my demons and creatures of night, on an undercover mission to find somebody else like me. Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Can hear me and drink from the light, to see things from the same side. Is there anybody out there? I dance to the left, I dance to the right, hold hands with my demons and creatures of night, on an undercover mission to find somebody else like me. Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Someone who can hear me and drink from the light, to see things from the same side. Is there anybody out there? Somebody else like me. Somebody else like me. Somebody else like me. Somebody else like me. Sirens cut the smoke-filled air. Upon rooftops a blue light glares. Rain rolls down my window. Voice inside starts hitting home. Wayward kids sail down the streets. Some rite of passage now complete. How many times can blind eyes turn to trouble in the wings?
When all I need is one chance at finding my place, it's time to leave the downtown cold heart of this place.
If there's a chance, then I'm gonna take it. I tell myself I've nothing to lose, but every time I leave here for something, I can't help but fall back to you. When all I need is one chance at finding my place, it's time to leave the downtown cold heart of this space. How'd we ever get so far with mantras that don't reach the stars, don't reach above your station, but my heart just longs for action. Some days there's more hate than love for the life you've got and dreaming of.
Sometimes I see
Georgie Square and a busk amid song,
just you and me.
the empty street and the long way back home.
If there's a chance, then
I'm gonna take it. I tell myself I've nothing to lose, but every time I leave here for something, I can't help but fall back to you. When all I need is one chance at finding my place, it's time to leave downtown cold heart of this space.
oh yeah.
If there's a chance, then I'm gonna take it. I tell myself I've nothing to lose, but every time I leave here for something, I can't help but fall back to you. When all I need is one chance at finding my place, it's time to leave downtown cold heart of this space.
So where does Michael stand in the world of synthesizers, synthwave, vaporwave, darkwave? Well, there's so many different genres within that, and Michael's carved his own niche, and I think he's one of the top writers, and I think that's one of the unique things. It's easy to make an instrumental, but it's really hard to craft a song, you know, lyrical content, top line melody, structure, diction, dialect, pronunciation. These are all the facets that come into writing a good pop song.
It's never really been about what is such and such doing. It's like, this is a concept. How can we articulate this in an interesting and a dynamic and a colorful way?
He knows how to pull from different influences, and he's not only not afraid to try new things, I think he actively pushes himself to try new things, which puts him in an elevated category, in my opinion.
He doesn't really reach for the same sounds that a lot of these guys are using. Like again, I think he looks for the weird stuff and tries to use that, and that's something I do as well.
And what Michael brings is that he's still writing really honest, personal songs that they're catchy, they're, you know, and again, they have that sincerity and authenticity to them. And I think that's what sets him apart.
I used to think sometimes artists did things by accident, or it was never premeditated, or it was just my interpretation of a sound. I think the man has thought about his album and his music more times than we've ever thought about anything else.
Because what he is doing isn't trying to recreate something that another artist in the scene has done. He really is envisioning his music early on and accomplishing those goals and really committing to them. I don't think he ever has a moment where he says, well, this doesn't sound like X, Y, or Z artist. He is committing to what he believes to be the real expression of himself.
I think it's obvious that Michael pays very good attention to detail, every detail. The way he layers sounds, you know, something you might not necessarily know that you notice, like a little tinkle here or glisten there, it does add to it.
Because you know you're going to get something that's fresh and exciting. Still Michael Oakley, still authentic, but just fresh.
You know, you listen to a lot of producers, and they oftentimes will do a lot of the same techniques, the fade-ins and the sweeps and the airy sounds, and but not Michael. Like, he's really good at kind of bringing out different producing techniques.
Making a piece of music or art that connects with people. That's the crux of it.
Gotta be me, there's no way someone else could feel this way I feel about you. And we're free to be what we want and touch the sky together. Before you came along, I was drowning in the depths of despair. And then when you finally came, it's funny you were unaware that when you look in my eyes, I'm a rabbit in the headlights. Oh, and when you're touching my skin, I'm a river in the moonlight. Oh, it's got to be the right time, the right place, the right kind of moment. It's got to be the right kind of feeling and deeper emotion. I'm holding back insecurity, taking me 2 steps forward, 1 step back from you. I'm afraid if I try to reach too soon that you might back away. How can I try to hide a feeling that's so wonderful? How do I tell you that you're the fire burning in my soul? 'Cause when you look in my eyes, I'm a rabbit in the headlights. Whoa. And when you're touching my skin, I'm a river in the moonlight. Whoa. It's got to be the right time, the right place, the right kind of moment. Whoa. It's got to be the right kind of feeling and deeper emotion. in my eyes, I'm a rabbit in the headlights. Ooh. And baby, when you're touching my skin, I'm a river in the moonlight. Ooh. It's got to be the right time, the right place, the right kind of moment. Ooh. It's got to be the right kind of feeling and deeper emotion.
Oakley wave, you never know, you could inherit namesake wise, and you just have loads of rotary phones carved in granite or something.
All right. Well, look, we're here right now with Michael Oakley. You just did this awesome performance thing. I'm Andy, by the way. I host Beyond Synth, but right now we're just going to focus on you. So you spent all day today rehearsing and filming up to the last minute to give the fans like the best possible thing, and now we've got about 2 minutes to record this Q&A before we get kicked out. So did you just want to talk a bit about what you just did?
Yeah, we put this show together like over the past few months. Been a lot of work rehearsing, and just obviously you can see the amazing set design and the amazing venue that we're at as well. So yeah, it's been a lot of work, and now I can enjoy it because it's all over. I don't need to worry about anything anymore.
So are you feeling good? You nice and relaxed now?
I'm sort of that post-show sort of like, I don't know if I'm quite sweaty as such. I think the makeup, the television makeup is sort of stopping me from sweating profusely, but I just feel relieved now that I'm kind of like, right, that it's all done, because it's a lot of work, a lot of moving parts.
So what we're going to do now, a bunch of fans wrote in questions, so we're doing like a little Q&A thing. So these were all submitted by people on the internet, and so we're just going to run through these, and I guess we'll just do like a lightning round.
Hit me.
Is that cool with you? All right, this one's from James Secker. It says, how much do you love Enigma, and what's your favorite track by the musical genius Michael Cretu?
I love Michael Cretu. He is one of my all-time heroes, and if I had to pick, I love Morphing Through Time from the third album. He was a huge inspiration on Odyssey, especially on like Babylon and the kind of more laid back tracks, that type of production, the more kind of tropical sounds, exotic sounds. Absolutely Michael Cretu from that period. Big influence actually on Odyssey.
This one's from Macy McGilloway. She says, what sorts of creative or adventurous hobbies do you have aside from music?
Does playing my Xbox One count if I'm playing some sort of exciting sports on that?
Is that what you play? What are you playing? Are you playing now?
I actually have been playing Bully Scholarship Edition. You ever played that? Rockstar's forgotten game?
I've never played it, but I know people say it's good.
You would not get away with that game now. Like, just some of the missions, horrendously, like, inappropriate missions, but they're hilarious.
Yeah. I'm playing Mass Effect HD Trilogy.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good. This one's from Lanita. Hi, Mr. Oakley. I'm a new, old-school fan of NewRetroWave. I love your style and all. When did you start making this in your life, and what inspired you? All the best. Love, peace, and respect. Always.
I had been sort of unsuccessfully like trying to do my own music for many years. Like, I was in bands before that, and you know, it just didn't work out, mostly because I wasn't good enough. I don't think I was good enough. My writing wasn't good enough. And then when I decided to do Michael Oakley sort of projects, when I first did Rabbit in the Headlights, that music came about because I was no longer trying to chase a record industry idea of what my music should sound like, because when I was doing it in bands, I was sort of trying to sound like Coldplay, The Killers, and I guess you could say sort of bucking a trend. Whereas when I went to do Michael Oakley stuff, I was like, you know what, I'm going to finally do the music that I grew up loving, for me, for no one else, finally, without it being adulterated. And here I am now, I guess.
Yeah. This one's from Austin Mickelson. Says, have you thought about reaching out to Netflix or Amazon? I'm sure they could use your music for a slick end credits for one of their shows.
I would love to have something on Netflix or Amazon, but I've never really pursued it, so my bad.
I don't know, who the hell do you even email?
If someone's watching this and they've gotten in with Netflix, shameless plug, get me on Netflix. Thank you, goodbye.
This one's from Dav. Says, the wildest thing that's ever happened at a show? Question mark.
Wildest thing that's ever happened at a show? Do you know what the wildest thing? I mean, wild is probably the wrong word. I would probably say bizarre thing. Remember at Outland in Toronto, there was that guy that was walking around saying that he had a saxophone in the back of his car and that he was going to... He did. He said, first of all, he said, yeah, I'm playing saxophone for Calax. He wasn't playing saxophone for Calax. I spoke to Lee. Lee hadn't even heard of the guy. He's like, what are you talking about? He went up to the guy that was running Outland, Stuart McLaren, said, yeah, I'm playing saxophone for Michael Oakley. Can you show me to the green room?
What?
And he ended up getting kicked out.
And that guy was my dad. This is a question from Jenny Murphy Vaughn. How do you write your music? Do you play with a tune and then hear it in your head?
I always start with the music first. I sort of lay down the mood and the sort of bed for, I guess, the mood that I'm in, and from that I find the words or the kind of narrative of the story sort of reveals itself. I would say that's a key thing, because it's not like I just go, I'm going to do this. It's sort of like once I have the music together, then it's kind of like, now I'm starting to get the words, I'm starting to get a concept of what I'm feeling through this music. So that's kind of how I write.
A few people sort of wrote this question in. I'll say it's from Christian and Callum. They said, if you could duet with any artist, living or dead, who would it be and why?
I did duet with the one person that I wanted to, and Dana. We've now done 2.
And she is living.
Duets, and she's living, thank God. Someone that's dead. George Michael's my favourite singer of all time, so if I could, I would love to sing with George Michael.
Yeah.
I would suggest writing something with him. I'd plug myself. Can I write something with you, George?
I got this idea for a Netflix show.
Yeah.
This is a question from Ginny Lee. It says, how do you feel about the progression of synthwave as a genre? Do you feel that it's staying true to its roots, or is it something different now?
Nothing stays the same, no matter how much you want it to. Whether you like it or not, things progress, things develop. You know, we get sick of having the same thing for breakfast every morning, so eventually you say, I'm not going to have Cheerios this morning, I'm going to have bacon and eggs. I think it's progressing, and there's a lot of really good music that's came out.
This one's from Elaine. Did you trust the people around you when it came to your music?
Absolutely, and I still work with the same people who I started working with right from the beginning. So when I first started, I was working with someone from back home, Tommy Phillips. We were recording at his house. I had the opportunity to go to Los Angeles, and then I met John Kunkel, Israel Medina, James Mees, and a whole bunch of people that led to my long-term collaborator Brad Kinnan as well. Like, all of those people, I still work with those people, and I wouldn't want to like move away from those people, because they know you, they know who you are, they get a sense of like what you like, what you don't like, and also I guess can help stop you from, as we talked about in the last question, about like not progressing and staying the same. It's a big thing to me to stick with the same people that you started working with, you know.
This one's from Mitchell Sorensen. Says, how did you deal when your name wasn't so big? How did you like getting your name exposed in the retrowave environment to get more known?
I'm somebody that I wouldn't like to be famous. I suffer from anxiety, and I find that if I was to be like that kind of like well-known name, like way when people know you in the street, I would hate it, because I like my privacy. I feel happy that I'm at a level with it where it's about the music, because that's what it should always be, you know what I mean? And my cats.
Yeah. Do you trust your cats with
my life?
Yeah. What about your music? Do you play it to them and see what they think?
Always. Yeah. They are always there, my little co-pilots, while I'm working on stuff.
Well, look, I want to thank obviously all the people who wrote in. Why am I talking to the camera now? I want to. We're just switching things up. Yeah, so I want to thank obviously all the people who wrote in questions to Michael. Obviously, the performance was a lot of fun, and it was fun because I got to watch the whole thing. So it was cool to see it come together. I know you were working really hard. I know you were planning this for such a long time, and so it's cool to finally see it all come together. And I'm happy. And of course a lot of the songs you played from the new album. The new album's great. And you played the hits, some of my favorites. So I'm always happy to hear Rabbit in the Headlights and Control and stuff. You know, these are some of my favorite things. So
it's a nice way to, because I can't tour, so it's a nice way to play all the songs that people like, and anyone can see it in any part of the world. That's kind of why I wanted to put this together, you know. So I'm really happy. Yeah, no, thank you. Appreciate you doing this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, awesome. All right. We're good. Are we good?
We good. Yes. Yoinks.